I'm actually recording this video just as Kai Havertz scores Arsenal's 5th goal of the night against Bolton, but I want to quickly take you and talk you guys through some of the key talking points from Arsenal's resounding win against Bolton in the Carabao Cup. I'm going to start with Ethan Nwaneri's performance. If you've watched my scouting report on Nwaneri, you will know I'm massive on talking about his motor, his engine, and how important that is and how it translates to his pathway into the first team. See tonight how many quick 1 and 2 touch combinations felt like they flowed through him on that right hand side, starting actually with some really nice quick releases and first time hits from Josh Nichols, who was playing in a really aggressively positioned right centre back role in a back three tonight, very similar to the one Ben White plays for us. Nwaneri himself played a very Odegaard-esque role in terms of Odegaard's role this season, swinging lower to create that 3-3 build-up shape, with Jorginho in the 6 and either Declan Rice or Lewis-Skelly on the other side. It's clear to see how ready Nwaneri is. It's his suppleness and his deftness to all he does on the pitch, receiving across his body to attract his marker and then spinning the other way. But most of all, it's that role of the accelerator that I touched on in the scouting report. What I mean by this is when you take Nwaneri's low centre of gravity, his fluid turning, his nimbleness in tight spaces, you get these scenarios where he seems like he receives, he spins, he carries, and he releases in behind, all in one motion seemingly. And this was a massive part to the speed of play we saw on the right-hand side today. Accessing Saka reliably out wide or in behind. And actually, in the first half, especially this was important because we were actually quite a left-hand sided dominant team in that first half. But there was also the awareness to wait for very Ben White-esque overlaps again from Josh Nichols. And obviously, Nwaneri gets the 2 goals to top his performance off. And he's someone who ghosts into positions in the box so well. Again, that was another feature of our scouting report. Just like his first goal, he's got a fantastic nose for space. So we've touched on Nwaneri and also Josh Nichols. I want to also give some attention to Lewis-Skelly, and I hope the injury that he came off with isn't too much of a worry for him. It wasn't a Zinchenko-like inverted fullback role for Lewis-Skelly tonight, but it was one with the dynamics around him that I actually really like. Rotating high and low with Declan Rice in the left centre mid, with one of them occupying the higher left pocket and the other one deeper next to Jorginho and Nwaneri when he pivoted deeper in midfield, or when Josh Nichols set himself higher. Rice and Lewis-Skelly also at times got really close to each other, moved off each other really well, and there were little subtleties like this in our structure that I was a big fan of tonight. And on quite a few occasions, this was really interesting. We didn't see this box midfield, but we almost saw a bit of a quasi-diamond midfield again, with Nwaneri shuttling the ball in the right centre mid, Lewis-Skelly in the left centre mid, and Rice really at the tip of the diamond. Obviously, this isn't ideal for platforming Declan Rice, but we are playing Bolton, and it also platforms Lewis-Skelly exceptionally well in possession, keeping him, of course, in those tight spaces, high or low, when we set up in a box midfield, but here in the diamond, in more of a left centre mid nominal role, it gives Lewis-Skelly a bit of space to carry the ball into, and in these positions you really start to see how a natural left footer gives our left hand side that speed of play that I've talked about a lot on the channel. Just as we saw for Nwaneri's first goal, it's Lewis-Skelly's ball into Sterling. You actually see, if you watch the goal back, how our box shape transitions into a diamond and how a left footer accessing Sterling's darts from the touchline inside off the shoulder in the half space work so effortlessly. And Lewis-Skelly himself can be a bit of a progressive hub like this as he plays more and more minutes in this Arsenal side. It was another confident, swaggery performance belonging to an Arsenal youngster. I've said a lot in pre-season about a lot of the left-back performances from Lewis-Skelly felt very placeholdery at times for Riccardo Calafiori, and we've seen bits of that both of them at times tonight as sort of those third-man runners, not necessarily running the build-up when they invert, able to get touches of course, but then leap higher, not repressing the freedom and the movement both Calafiori and Lewis-Skelly like to have in their games. We saw that on multiple occasions with Lewis-Skelly and Calafiori tonight, even in Calafiori's brief cameo in his left-back role before getting subbed off, joining the midfield, inverting, sitting also a bit wider in a three. And there was one really nice passage where Calafiori formed this midfield three with Nwaneri on the other side, hinging lower, and it was actually Nwaneri, after Calafiori darts higher, Nwaneri that finds Calafiori embracing the space further up the pitch, and he has a long shot which sails over the bar. But it goes to show how letting these natural roamers at heart, Calafiori and Lewis-Skelly, giving them that freedom is so important. I want to finish with this quick instant reaction with Raheem Sterling, who really grew into the game, I thought. Again, I've maintained in the build-up to Raheem's first minutes and when he was signed that you will know he is ready, and he's ready to play significant minutes this season. The burst, the acceleration are not gone, and that infield dribbling we saw, especially when he moved over to the right wing, actually for Kai Havertz's goal, is still just as deadly and impossible to touch and get close to for defenders as ever. He's hungry. He was constantly, relentlessly moving off the shoulder, associating well with others around him. There was, again, a good freeness to his game, rotating fluidly with Gabriel Jesus at times. He was a really nice release in behind, that pressure valve for the left-hand side too. Again, we've bought ourselves this additional runner for our front line, a relentless mover who offers us this upside in transitions and also a genuine 1v1 specialist and two-way threat like we saw tonight. It was also significant that he was the one that went to the right wing, not Martinelli, when Saka came off, showing again how Mikel sees the squad setting up over the course of a season. As for all of these guys, tougher tests will come, but for many of them, I think this was just the game needed to instill some minutes, some confidence, and to show everyone that we have a squad, although not as bloated in terms of numbers as last season, we have a squad with much more, at least how Mikel Arteta sees it, with much more usable depth. But that is my quick fire instant reaction post Bolton game. Really hope you guys enjoyed. I'll catch you in the next one. See you later.